Explain the need of EIA, IEE, and BES in road and bridge projects. What is the provision of preparation and approval of EIA in government rules and regulations? The need for EIA, IEE, and BES in road and bridge projects arises from the potential environmental and social impacts of such infrastructure developments. A. Environmental Impact Assessment, EIA. Purpose. EIA is a comprehensive process to evaluate the potential environmental, social, and economic impacts of a proposed project. Need to assess impacts such as deforestation, habitat destruction, soil erosion, water pollution, and air pollution caused by road and bridge construction. To propose mitigation measures to reduce adverse impacts. To ensure compliance with national and international environmental laws. To involve stakeholders and address public concerns. And B. Initial environmental examination, IE's purpose. IE is a preliminary assessment for smaller projects or those with less significant environmental impacts. On. To determine whether a full EIA is required. To identify potential environmental issues early in the project planning phase. To provide a basis for decision-making and project design modifications. What do you saying Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, BS? When to purpose. BES focuses on the impacts of projects on biodiversity and ecosystem services, such as water regulation, soil fertility, and carbon sequestration. Ni? To protect sensitive ecosystems, wildlife habitats, and endangered species. To ensure the sustainable use of natural resources. To integrate biodiversity conservation into infrastructure development. In Nepal, the preparation and approval of EIA for road and bridge projects are governed by the Environment Protection Act 2019 and the Environment Protection Rules 2020. These laws provide the legal framework for conducting EIAs and IEEs. A. Legal framework. 1. Environment Protection Act 2019 mandates EIA for projects likely to have significant environmental impacts. 2. Environment Protection Rules 2020 provides detailed procedures for conducting EIAs and IEEs, including screening, scoping, and public consultation. B. EIA preparation process. 1. Screening determines whether a project requires an EIA or IEE based on its size, location, and potential impacts. 2. Scoping identifies key environmental issues and impacts to be assessed in the EIA. 3. Baseline data collection gathers information on the existing environmental and social conditions in the project area. 4. Impact assessment evaluates the potential positive and negative impacts of the project. 5. Public consultation involves stakeholders, including local communities, to address their concerns. 6. EIA report preparation compiles the findings into a comprehensive report. C. Approval process. 1. The EIA report is submitted to the relevant regulatory authority, such as the Ministry of Forests and Environment, MOFE, or the Department of Environment, DOE. 2. The Environmental Impact Assessment Review Committees reviews the report and recommends approval, rejection, or modifications. 3. Public hearings are conducted for certain categories of projects to ensure transparency and public participation. 4. Final approval is granted in the form of an environmental clearance, EC, which is mandatory before project construction can begin. D. Monitoring and compliance. 1. Post-approval, the project proponent must implement the mitigation measures and comply with environmental conditions specified in the EC. 2. Regular monitoring and reporting are required to ensure compliance with environmental standards. Conclusion: EIA, IEE, and BES are essential tools for ensuring that road and bridge projects in Nepal are environmentally sustainable and socially responsible. The preparation and approval of EIA are governed by the Environment Protection Act 2019 and the Environment Protection Rules 2020, which provide a robust legal framework for minimizing environmental degradation and promoting sustainable development. Compliance with these regulations is critical for obtaining project approvals and maintaining public trust.